Hi, hello, my name is Cory Mayo. I'm a photographer here in Central California, and today is going to be my 6-month long-term review of the Leica Q3 43. This camera has definitely shaped the way I view the world, kind of changed the way how I shoot and what I prioritize. And this has been a pleasant surprise as one of my favorite Leica cameras that they have ever made. And I'm really surprised to say that because I am a long-term user of the SL system as well as the Leica M system. I still find myself gravitating towards the Leica Q, specifically the Leica Q3 43. This is pretty much everything that I look for in a personal camera, and surprisingly has made its way into my client work as well. We'll get into that a little bit later into this video. But if you guys aren't subscribed yet, please do so. We talk a lot about Leica gear, as well as some other stuff. And I like sharing my photography tips, tutorials as a full-time freelance filmmaker and photographer. So I appreciate you guys' support. So what originally drew me to the Leica Q3 43 is I was looking for an everyday camera that was compact and that didn't compromise on any features. So the 60 megapixel sensor, the build quality, the heritage that comes with Leica, all this kind of drew me towards this form factor, as well as having the modern, conveniences of autofocus. And the Leica Q3 43 definitely checks all those boxes. It's the perfect size camera for anyone that is looking for a compact camera for travels or personal work or just to capture everyday life. But what surprised me most after the 6 months of using this camera is how capable this is being a B camera in your set, in your kit, alongside an SL. I use the SL3S, or if you have a Leica M system, having this camera is a fantastic B camera, and it can definitely hold its weight on professional shoots. I've used this surprisingly on a lot of different client shoots. For portraiture, I have off-camera flash I use for headshots with the 43mm. Works fantastic. As a B camera for interview setups, I've definitely used this. I've used this as the main angle on this YouTube channel as well. And it holds up, records 8K video, fantastic video quality. And if you're using it on a gimbal or a tripod, there's really no complaints using this for video. So let's go over some of the projects that I've used this camera on in the last 6 months. First off is travel. I had the pleasure of traveling over to Europe, Ireland, Scotland. I took this along with me, held it there every single day, took a lot of fun, vacation style photos. Very blown away with the image quality on this camera. 60 megapixels is a ton. So if you are worried about, being a little bit too wide with 43mm, you can definitely crop in. The form factor really just didn't get in the way with me enjoying my vacation. I've really thoroughly enjoyed using this on my trip. Getting back, editing the files, they're just amazing. And recorded even a little bit of video as well, and it looks fantastic. The L-Log performance from Leica is great. You get good dynamic range. The autofocus is reliable. It's not like crazy Sony performance autofocus, but it is definitely reliable. I've used this for a lot of street photography as well. Face detect is great, and I have no problem relying on the autofocus. And on the same note, autofocus is not really your bag. I really do like the switch that you can switch to manual. So it gives me that experience. I've used the Leica M system for over a couple years now, and it gives you that manual tactile experience of just using those Leica M lenses, but with the convenience of having autofocus as well. It's pretty much the best of both worlds. And so if you are not really sure if the rangefinder system is for you and you want to have those modern capabilities of like electronic viewfinder and autofocus, this is kind of the perfect entry level into that world. For me, 43mm is the perfect focal range for me. It gives me wide enough to kind of give context to the scene, as well as, it's close enough, gives me a little bit compression, good for portraiture. My main go-to lens on my Leica SL3S is the 50mm. So I feel right at home at 43mm, especially if you're using this for more of an everyday camera, travel camera. 43mm is a fantastic focal range. The 28mm version of this camera is really not for me, but I can totally see why people like that camera as far as, getting those wide landscapes. Maybe the 28mm version is for you, but what really made me pull the trigger on the Leica Q3 43 was that 43mm Apo lens at f2. You get plenty of low light performance as well for f2. You won't really find any problems with that, and you can kind of push this camera pretty high ISO range and the images still look great. I like to use this with the Leica Photos app. That app is the best app that I have ever seen in any mirrorless camera system that I've used, and I think I've used pretty much all of them. The Leica Photos app is fantastic. The sync speed of transferring these huge 60 megapixel files straight to the Leica Photos app works seamlessly, and I can show my clients their portraits as I'm taking them. The Leica Photos Looks is another great feature of this camera. There's a lot of different built-in presets that you can use, some from famous photographers. I love the black and white one. There's a Leica Classic Look, Leica Chrome, and really great starting off points. So if you just wanted to not even dabble into the raw editing capabilities and just use the JPEGs coming out of this camera, they look really, really good. And I think that's a theme with this series of cameras. Why it's so popular for Leica is that it really gets out of the way. It gives you high-end performance, beautiful build quality, and allows you to take photos and kind of doesn't really get in the way of your everyday life or experience. It's a little bit less intimidating. So if you have some shy models or some family members that aren't into your big DSLR, SLR setup, this small form factor is really good. It kind of lets you blend in a little bit more into the background. It doesn't look like a super serious photo camera. It kind of looks like, you know, reminiscent of those old film cameras. And yeah, I love the viewfinder. This is kind of how I shoot 90% of the time. Viewfinder up, I can see the subject. I'm able to see it through the electronic viewfinder. As a photographer that used the rangefinder system, the Leica M system, coming to this, the Leica Q, I really appreciate the electronic viewfinder. It is fantastic. I love the flip out screen as well. This is my main setup when I'm doing street photography. I like to keep it in this kind of configuration, just over here, just to look down, take photos. It's really nice and much appreciated. I think where this camera makes sense for most is something that I didn't even consider when I first purchased this, but it's a feature that you really won't find on a spec sheet. It's the user experience. And I think this is the main thing that a lot of people are kind of missing when you guys are comparing specs, comparing pricing, is how much do you value the user experience when using your camera? For me, I didn't know that I would love this camera. When I first got it, I was kind of skeptical. I've always wanted to try the Q series, but after owning it, after using it, I valued the user experience a lot, and a camera that inspires me to shoot more is a great thing. And I think that's why this camera is one of the top selling cameras for Leica. A lot of people are drawn to this form factor is because the user experience is really simplistic, really easy. It's a beautiful instrument. It inspires a lot of photographers to go out and create. And I think that's what's most important, is getting out, creating content with your camera, and whatever system that allows you to do that is probably something worth keeping. So at the end of the day, the best camera for you is the one that inspires you to go out and shoot more. And for me, the Leica Q3 43 has done that and more. I've used this on client shoots, branding, weddings, travel photography. This checks every single box, and it is one of Leica's best cameras that has ever been made. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully your next adventure with a camera is a good one, and I'll see you guys in the next one.